Hi everybody, and welcome back to FANG Friday. This is Ross Healy, the Chairman of Strategic Analysis Corporation and a Senior Portfolio Manager at McNichol & Associates Asset Management. I will have to tell you that this was one of the most difficult FANG Friday scripts to write. So much is going on, and the FANGs and the overall stock market are giving me mixed messages. So please forgive me if I appear a little less confident about the SVA messaging than I usually am. Now, as of last night and before the opening bell this morning, 6 of the 8 FANGs plus Tesla stocks were sitting right at key SVA technical support, with 7 new balance sheets to process to flesh out the picture that we were seeing. Happily, our system came through for us in spades, and everything is fully up to date for today's edition of FANG Friday. Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, Netflix, Meta, and Tesla all reported. And this morning, we're able to see how the market is actually responding. It will probably take some time for the market to fully digest what it has seen. So I need to respond carefully to what we are seeing this morning. With apologies, and despite my promise last week, I will not do a review of the structural valuation condition of 2 additional FANGs this week. I want to let the market settle down and take its time to assess the risks, if any, for the 2 FANG Friday stocks that I had in mind, Amazon and Apple. But right now, before we take a look at the FANGs, as always, I do like to say thanks to everyone who likes this video and all our subscribers. Okay, well, let's start off with Facebook, with Meta. Okay, I made as it turned out, a great call last week that the stock would very likely bottom at its super growth price. But could any of you have bought any shares? It's unlikely. So, as they say, big hat, no cows. Shows how powerful, by the way, the SVA breakpoints can be. I mean, this breakpoint is, its width is 30%. That is quite a jump in 2 days. Amazon, ouch. A falling balance sheet, okay, which you can now see, and a return on equity which has collapsed from 45% to 19.5%. No wonder the shares have fallen 15% today. I'm hoping for a kind of a breakdown pullback to allow me to sell with my skin intact. After all, this had been one of my 2 sells. Microsoft has a new balance sheet, by the way, which was lower than the previous one. So what looked like a pretty clear sell last week has suddenly become a little bit uncertain, and the stock is now hanging in. I'm not going to rescind my sell for the moment until things settle down, however. Alphabet, a perfect hit on its mid-super growth price. That's 5.5 times book value, and it's bouncing there at its MSG price. I would certainly buy a little right now and see if it can hold. I'd been waiting for this moment for quite a while. And also, by the way, you can see that the price and the fair market value have almost come together. Netflix is trying to stabilize around its low super growth price. That's 4.5 times book value. My longer term target remains the super growth price, which is $152, which I think some of you will remember I showed you some while ago was the bottom of the previous 2 lows for the Netflix cycle. As I say, I am certainly willing to wait for it. The market has a memory. Tesla, lots of volatility, and due, I think, to Musk's shenanigans with Twitter, I'd had the stock as a sell, and I do not intend to do anything with it other than that right now. Finally, of course, if you want the bitter truth here, the fair market value for this company is 77.94% down from the current price. That's not the kind of long-term investment that I personally like to have. NVIDIA is trying to stabilize at its HB3 price, which is 16 times book value. But I believe that the cycle now is against us. And I personally look for lower valuations. Also, of course, look where the fair market value is compared to the current price. Finally, Apple. Apple was a real disappointment, I have to say. It was one of my two buys, Amazon, of course, being the other one. But now Amazon is gone. Kind of what you see is what you get, or as we used to say, WYSIWYG, decent sales and earnings numbers, which I see by commentators have been taken two ways. It's been the best performing FANG this year by far. So I'm going to keep it as my only buy and wait a bit. In summary, the FANGs have started off this year with a 32% overall average decline, and I can see by the comments that folks are hoping that this is all of the downside for them. No less than 6 of the 8 FANGs plus Tesla have reached key breakpoints and possibly stopped as of yesterday, which speaks to a certain amount of simultaneous hope and uncertainty. When I look at the NASDAQ for a possible clue, it has actually failed to hold tight to its bubble price. That's 7.4 times adjusted book, although it keeps bobbing back up to it. On the positive side, the Standard & Poor's itself remains steadfastly on side, if barely. So take a hard look at the FANGs today and the key breakpoints and keep them close at hand. The whole complex is either teetering or bottoming, and I can't provide you with a definitive answer. The market will have to do that, and I suspect that it may do so fairly shortly. The market concerns right now are probably for the high-tech stocks in general, as there is and has been a lot of underlying damage done to a large number of them. Let me observe that if anyone thinks that the correction in these stocks is close to being over, many stocks are still nowhere near anything at all that resembles an investment quality low. The same kind of low that we experienced, for instance, after the collapse of the high-techs and the dot-coms in 2000 to 2002. Last week, I reviewed NVIDIA and Meta in detail and found two entirely different market animals. NVIDIA is a deep cyclical whose long-term record has alternated between euphoric and the terrifying, with another terrifying stage quite possibly approaching. But I then observed that Meta was the best value of the FANG stocks, and a drop to its super growth price, 3.5 times book, might be all of the downside in sight. Well, that was dead on the money, it turned out, but should have had to have been lightning quick to take advantage of its super growth price low. The stock has leapt a full breakpoint in 2 days, so I would not pursue it here. The rich have been hanging in, as you can see with Apple, but this morning Amazon reacted badly to its slowing growth, balance sheet growth, and has plunged abruptly, becoming a sell in the process. The bubble price is its last line of defense, as I will discuss next week. Tesla and Microsoft had been moved to become sells, and Alphabet had been in the process of maybe becoming a buy. And today's hit, right at its MSG price, suggests to me, why not take a trade? Since we started FANG Friday, events have clearly shown that there are 3 ways that we can earn our keep with our SVA market service. The first is to help you to find stocks to buy. Second, as you saw a couple of weeks ago with Netflix, I showed you how you can avoid the kinds of big losses that the market can inflict in your portfolio. And the third, of course, is to get you in or out of the market itself. And it's right on the cusp. Now, if you want to join our investing community and become a client of ours, go to www.strategicanalysis.ca/pricing, and we will see if SVA is right for you. Talking about overall markets, I'd like to close this week's FANG Friday by citing a marvelous quote by George Goodman, aka Adam Smith, the author of The Money Game, a book every investment library should own. He wrote, "We are all at a wonderful ball where the champagne sparkles in every glass and soft laughter falls upon the summer air. We know by the rules that at some moment the black horseman will come shattering through the great terrace doors, wreaking vengeance and scattering the survivors. Those who leave early are saved. But the ball is so splendid that no one wants to leave while there is still time. Everyone keeps asking, 'What time is it? What time is it?' But no one has a watch, and none of the clocks have hands." For now, this has been Ross Healy, Chairman of Strategic Analysis Corporation and a Senior Portfolio Manager at McNichol & Associates Asset Management, reminding you that nothing, including investing, is difficult if you have the right tools. I'll see you all